Now at 5, Jasper County authorities investigate after a body is found in the ruins of a house fire, plus some tips to protect your home or business from break-ins, and what a new CDC report shows about the number of firearms injuries since the start of the pandemic.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Start with a late-breaking story. A New York grand jury has voted to indict Donald Trump. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. Word of the indictment against the former president came late this afternoon. Many of you just saw the CBS special report. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office has filed the indictment under seal, meaning we don't know the specific charges. However, CBS reports it concerns the allegations of hush money paid to former adult film star Stormy Daniels. The indictment means the former president will be required to surrender to authorities. This is the first time a former president has ever been indicted. Donald Trump's attorneys have previously called any indictment a mistake. Of course, you're going to hear much more on this story on the CBS Evening News tonight at 5:30. Authorities in Jasper County are investigating the case of a body found after a home fire. A little after 1 this morning, drivers along I-49 reported the fire just south of Baseline Boulevard, east of the interstate. When fire crews arrived at the burning home, the fire was too intense for them to enter, but neighbors said they believed a resident was in the home. Crews eventually found one person dead inside. There is no word yet on the cause of the fire or the name of that victim. A Miami, Oklahoma business that just recently opened has already been the target of crime twice. Brian Barnes opened his vape shop just 2 months ago, and he's had 2 break-ins within a month. One time, someone threw a rock through a window. In another case, someone broke through a door. They didn't steal much. Local authorities have worked with Barnes, and it seems the presence of cameras and an alarm system helped both times.
That potentially is what caused him to only get one thing, is I think it spooked him both times, right? He breaks in the glass, that motion sensor trips, and the alarm starts screaming at him. Because the alarm system I have, if you open a door, it has a delayed entry, right? It gives you time to put the code in. If it trips a motion sensor, it starts screaming immediately and it contacts the police immediately.
Miami police urge business owners to install good locks, barriers in front of windows, and add lighting, as thieves tend to avoid well-lit areas. Pitt State is honoring one of its most distinguished alumni. The university today hosted a reception for this year's Distinguished Service Award recipient, Lindsey Young. Young graduated from Pitt State with a bachelor's degree in 2005 and a master's degree in 2009. Since then, she's been a volunteer with the school, mentored students, and is a member of the Alumni Association Board of Directors.
Students, letting them know the opportunities that are in the industries that are out there. That I work in construction now, doing marketing, and that wasn't anything I ever thought of as an alumni. So I want to educate our students here at Pitt State about the opportunities and maybe industries they don't even think about.
That reception was at Pitt State's Alumni Center. The Alliance of Southwest Missouri has pledged its support for a young Joplin family as they prepare to embark on a journey to Japan for the Strider World Cup race. That event is a race among young kids on Strider bikes. 3-year-old Silas McCain has been selected as one of 10 representatives for Team USA in his age category. However, with only a couple of months remaining until the big event, the family has to raise $7,500 to cover travel and lodging expenses.
The Alliance has agreed to match up to $500 to help Silas get to Osaka, Japan. So we're very excited for him to be able to compete on that international level and represent Team USA. And we're just so excited that we get to kind of put Full Potential's name on that, to get the name out there and let people know about this program that really does exist to help families.
The organization is calling on the community to make donations to the family's GoFundMe account. If you want to donate, you can find Silas's GoFundMe account on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, we got thunderstorms which are brewing across the region into northeastern Oklahoma, but streaming northeast, pretty quick pace, 45-50 miles per hour. Most of these storms are going to stay below severe limits, but we are going to get some gusty winds, some heavy downpours, a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning, and maybe even a little bit of small hail. But you can see this whole complex, northeastern Oklahoma all the way into eastern parts of Oklahoma. Let's go ahead, zoom in. Showers, thunderstorms, Bartlesville, one popping up just to the west of Independence, one moving into Coffeyville, and all of these are going to stream northeast as we go through the next several hours. It's still warm. Most of us are sitting near 70 degrees. It's also very windy. We have a high wind warning in effect for us tomorrow. We're going to be talking more about that and storms here in just a bit.
And we'll catch you then. Thanks, Doug. On the heels of Monday's deadly school shooting in Nashville comes a new CDC report that shows hospital emergency department visits for firearm injuries increased significantly since the start of the pandemic, and especially among children. Michael George reports.
Parents and students rallied at the Tennessee State Capitol Thursday, demanding stronger gun laws in the wake of Monday's school shooting at the Covenant School in Nashville that killed 6 people. Newly released CDC data shows firearm injuries increased significantly since the start of the pandemic. Weekly visits to the emergency room for those types of injuries were 37% higher in 2020, 36% higher in 2021, and 20% higher in 2022 compared to 2019. The report also showed children 14 years and younger experienced the largest increase in gun injury ER visits.
To see this spike, this devastating impact on an individual, on a family, and on our communities is so disheartening.
Dr. Jose Prince is the chief of pediatric surgery at Cohen Children's Medical Center in New York. The hospital has seen a 350% increase in kids with gunshot wounds in the last year.
We've seen toddlers who find their parents' handgun. We've seen kids who are out playing at a park. We've seen things that are targeted at a young person who maybe is running with the wrong crowd.
Dr. Prince is also a member of Northwell Health's Center for Gun Violence Prevention.
This really involves understanding where do these problems of violence come from, and how do we help to find other ways to resolve disputes or problems when they come up in the community.
His number one piece of advice: if you have a gun in the home, make sure it's locked up and unloaded. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
The CDC report suggests reasons children have been at greater risk for gun violence during the pandemic might include increased time spent at home, which might have increased their access to firearms in the home. There was also limited access to mental health services. We'll be right back. Topping today's Health Watch, COVID-19 during pregnancy might increase obesity risk in children. Researchers in Boston studied about 150 infants exposed to COVID in the womb. They found the babies had lower birth weight and then greater weight gain in the first year of life. Those changes have been associated with greater risk for obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease later on. Pets might tamp down food allergies in kids. A study in the journal PLOS ONE found that children exposed to cats or dogs in the home before birth or during early infancy tended to have fewer food allergies compared to other children. Those with dogs were significantly less likely to have egg, milk, and nut allergies, while infants living with cats were less likely to be allergic to eggs, wheat, and soybeans. Doctors say tens of millions of Americans suffer from chronic brain diseases and disorders. Well, scientists in Europe hope the world's biggest brain bank, filled with the minds of the past, will help patients of the future. Ian Lee reports.
It's a one-of-a-kind cranium collection in Denmark. Buckets of knowledge that seemed like a no-brainer.
I think it's the largest collection in the world, actually. Almost 10,000 brains that were collected.
Started by a prominent psychiatrist, the oldest brain is from 1945, the newest from 1982. Back then, researchers believed as science progressed, so would their understanding of diseases affecting the mind.
When they finished the autopsy, they kept the brain and put it up on the shelf and said, okay, maybe in 50 years, maybe even more, someone will come and know more about the brain than we do now.
The brains come from patients with dementia, schizophrenia, major depression, and other disorders. Scientists say the brain bank has already led to some breakthroughs, including finding a rare type of hereditary dementia. And while the collection was created with hope for a brighter future, its origins are in a dark past. Doctors back then treated many patients against their will.
There were no people from the outside who were asking questions about what went on in these state institutions.
And with little in ways of effective therapy, experts say the untouched brains create a baseline for modern medicine.
We can see whether these changes could be associated with the treatment or not, as those brains were not treated.
A time capsule of knowledge from yesterday, helping patients of tomorrow. Ian Lee, CBS News.
That brain collection is held on the campus of the University of Southern Denmark. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, what a new report shows about the state of the U.S. economy.
Plus, we have thunderstorms working through this evening. I'm going to give you those details coming up. Well, it's been another mild and windy day for us today. A lot of clouds across the region, now scattered showers and thunderstorms popping up, which we are going to see rotate through as we go through the evening hours. Nice shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. On top of that, with this storm system, the winds are going to get even stronger as we go through the daytime hours tomorrow. So the whole area is under a wind advisory, and then you have a red flag warning in the red, meaning the humidity is going to drop. You don't want to burn. But here in the purple, this is all a high wind warning. This is in effect for tomorrow afternoon. We're going to have winds gusting 50 upwards to 60 miles per hour, which is almost as strong as a severe thunderstorm. We do have scattered thunderstorms popping up. These are in northeastern Oklahoma, southeastern parts of Kansas, but you can see they're heading in our direction. I think these are going to stay below severe limits, but a couple of these guys could be a little bit stronger, maybe some very small hail. You can see the complex from Tulsa up to Veneta. And then as we get into southeastern parts of Kansas, we are seeing some storms popping up just west of Independence. One right on top of Coffeyville, Nowata, and also Bartlesville. And again, all these are going to be moving in as we go through the next couple hours. So we are going to have a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning across the region as this system works through. This is our whole storm system. We're on the leading edge of it. The main upper level low is still out across parts of the Rockies, and that is what is going to swing through as we go into the daytime hours for us tomorrow. Look at our temps. Most of us near 70, so it feels great out there even though we have the clouds. But check out the winds. We have the south winds at about 15 to 25 sustained, and then we've been getting gusts throughout the afternoon, 30 upwards to 40 miles per hour, and these are going to increase as we go through the overnight hours. We're going to be 50 to 55 later on tonight, so if you have stuff outside, secure it. We're going to be in that 45, 55 mile per hour range as we go through tomorrow. Plus we have a dry line that drops through, so our humidity drops very low, and you have these strong winds. That's why we have the fire danger for us for tomorrow afternoon. All right, let's go through the evening. Here in about an hour or so, scattered thunderstorms working through the metro, kind of pushing east. Here's 9 p.m. mainly on the Kansas side, but we're going to have additional ones popping up late evening. Then we get a little bit of a lull until morning. Here's 6:30 in the morning, scattered showers and thunderstorms popping up and then pushing through the region. We break out, we see sunshine. Here's 11 a.m. At this time, our dry line is right along the Kansas and Missouri state line. As it pushes east, that's where the severe thunderstorms really get going, just across central Missouri. But look at our temperatures, 74, 75 degrees for us by tomorrow. And you can see the greater severe threat just east, central eastern Missouri through the Boot Heel. So luckily, the greatest severe weather is going to skirt right around the region. Here's your day planner. Temperatures into the 70s, partly sunny skies by the afternoon after some morning showers and thunderstorms. We're going to make it an alert day tomorrow when winds are going 50 to 60. That's moving. 74. We clear out Saturday. Sunday in general looks pretty good. A shower south. Thunderstorms, severe threat returns next Tuesday.
50 to 60 mile an hour straight line winds.
Straight line winds.
Tie down the kids and the pets.
No kidding.
Coming up, Consumer Watch, the latest GDP report from the Commerce Department. Topping today's Consumer Watch, 2 reports out today suggest a slight cooling of the U.S. economy. The Commerce Department says the gross domestic product grew slightly less than expected in the 4th quarter of last year. It says the inflation-adjusted GDP, which is the broadest measure of economic activity, was 2.6%. That's a 1/10 of a point shy of a recent estimate, according to Refinitiv. Meanwhile, the Department of Labor reports first-time jobless claims have increased. Goldman Sachs says up to 300 million full-time jobs around the world could be affected by artificial intelligence. The new wave of AI that has spawned platforms like ChatGPT could lead to jobs being automated in some way. In a report, Goldman Sachs economists predicted 18% of work globally could be computerized. Economists at the investment bank believe the effects would be felt more deeply in advanced economies than emerging markets, with white-collar workers more at risk than manual laborers. Pepsi is getting a new look after 14 years. In a news release, the company's chief design officer said the new logo was created to, quote, connect future generations with the brand's heritage. Products with the new design will hit store shelves in North America sometime this fall, just in time for Pepsi's 125th anniversary. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, much more on that grand jury indictment of former President Donald Trump. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to hear from the Miami, Oklahoma Police Department with tips to prevent break-ins. Plus, a proposed new Missouri state budget that could ban diversity funding for state institutions. And Pitt State football players got a chance to show off their skills to NFL scouts during Pro Day. Stay with us. CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. A lot going on weather-wise.
Yeah, we got showers, we got thunderstorms working into the area. Most of these are going to stay below severe limits, but we do have one severe thunderstorm right now. This is across Lebec County. This storm is producing winds right around 60 miles per hour. It's booking northeast 50 to 60. Some small hail in it as well. We'll have the latest at 6 with the storms working through.
Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. Of course, we're going to be right back here at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.